A warm embrace, words of comfort, helping hand during times of tragedy can profoundly help lift up those who've suffered a traumatic loss. Here to share their mission is Chaplain Rich Robinson, Executive Director of Coastal Crisis Chaplaincy, and Erin Roach, the organization's Director of Development. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much.
So why don't you just let our audience know what your mission is, what you accomplish in the chaplaincy?
Sure. So we provide a comprehensive chaplaincy services for public safety and community and survivors. So pretty much anytime there's a traumatic incident in the community, a homicide, a suicide, something like that, our chaplains are there to hold hands, be a listening ear and a source of comfort, and offer psychological first aid. But we also do a lot of first responder support. They're our greatest heroes and servants, and our job is to serve our servants and help keep their morale good and help them carry out the great and amazing work that they do.
How do you prepare yourself to talk to someone who's just experienced traumatic grief in their life?
So our chaplains go through about a 6-month chaplains academy, so it's a real intense training with psychological first aid, with psychological principles as far as how do you apply spiritual understandings to folks, what's meaningful to them. We meet people where they are, whatever faith they have, we're there to help, or not faith. But the essence is that you're basically with people, you're helping them understand the next step. So we do a lot of training to help our chaplains understand how to be useful on a scene and how to be helpful and meaningful to the people they care for.
Before we got started, Erin, you were saying that since joining the chaplaincy that you've seen God's hand at work.
Absolutely.
In incredible ways. Maybe you can explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, so one of my first days in the spring, I was in the office and one of our chaplains came in and, I heard somebody come in and I was kind of like, what is that smell? And it was one of our chaplains who had been on scene of the apartment fires back in the spring he was there all day, all night, and he was really, for me, it was so powerful to see and just the senses all come together of how he was there all day and all night with these folks, trying to help them find places to stay and ministering to their needs, because he had also been lost some things in a fire as well. So it was just extremely powerful just to see all of our volunteer chaplains do what they do.
And that's what you said, they're all volunteer.
That's right.
So what does that mean exactly? Because it is clearly very selfless.
It is extremely selfless. These people are really the hands and feet of God, just going to people and serving them in their darkest hour, meeting them in their spiritualness or faith, or even if they don't have faith. That's what the chaplaincy and our mission is all about, that light and hope and serving people and meeting them where they need.
When you've touched those lives who have lost everything or seemingly have lost everything in their existence, what does it look like afterwards? So after you've touched their lives, what do you see happen next?
So after our chaplains are with folks, then our survivor care team does follow up. So really we feel like there has to be some kind of safety net for folks with traumatic grief. So the chaplains are there on the scene, and then our survivor care team follows up with them. But they also keep up with them and then help them connect with resources. Maybe it's a grief support group, a homicide survivor support group, or just some counseling, or often just a listening ear. But they try and really offer them some hope in the grief process and help them understand that they can walk through this and not be alone.
And I have to ask you this, being one that is providing that source of comfort and help, do you yourself as the chaplain also, almost as a responder too, need that extra help from somebody else even to kind of get over what you've just experienced through someone else's?
We do. In fact, I was even talking with another chaplain this morning, and we were sharing about tough calls, and we all rely on each other. We all follow up with each other after a tough call. We follow up with our first responders, and we just have to look after one another. That's sort of the culture of what we do.
Yeah, and where do people go for more information if they're in need of your
services? Our website is coastalcrisischaplain.org, and we have a lot of different ways to connect with us there on our website and on Facebook as well.
Now, of course, you can't do it without the help of the community, and that's where the bottom fishing rodeo comes in. Right. So people people who like to cast their lines, and is it snapper? There's
Yes,
snappers
yes.
coming
So
to
it's
town,
it's red snapper season.
It
and,
is.
So everybody's excited. So on June 8th and 9th, and our tournament goes on the 10th as well. But on the 8th and 9th, you can actually keep those red snappers, and it's kind of like the once in a lifetime, you know, once a year that it happens.
Absolutely.
So it's pretty cool.
All right,
it's pretty
so
cool.
the Low Country Bottom Fishing Rodeo, Friday through Sunday, July 8th through 10th. Lines in at 6 a.m. sharp, and this is happening at the Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina. I want to thank you both for sharing
Thank
with
you
us.
so
Thank you.
much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Back after
Thank you.
this.